From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for April 13th, 2017. I'm Seth Hawk.
And I'm Sarah Singletary. Thank you for joining us this evening. A clothesline is traditionally used for hanging laundry out to dry. However, for Trojan Outreach, a clothesline has served as a method for delivering a message to students. Nathaniel Rodriguez explains how.
Troy University's Trojan Outreach held an event on the main quad Wednesday for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. The event was a rendition of the Worldwide Clothesline Project, a testimonial project focused on promoting awareness of violence against women.
Basically what we're doing is we have these little shirts and we're having everyone decorate them with support, encouragement, things like you are loved, stay strong, it's not your fault, as well as just kind of like the emotions they feel when they hear the really harsh statistics and the realities of sexual assault.
Jack said that Trojan Outreach held this event because of the impact sexual assault and the stigma surrounding its victims has on college campuses.
I think it's really important for college students because 1 to 4 to 1 to 5 women get sexually assaulted in their college years alone. So it's a huge number, it's a giant statistic. I believe it's 1.27 million women get sexually assaulted each year, and that's reported.
One participant said the event was good to let victims of sexual assault know that they have community support. He also said he was glad to take part of it.
I'm honored to be able to take part in it. I was walking across campus, it was kind of unexpected, but just seeing that Troy reaches out to every community in every way that they possibly can, it's very inspirational.
Trojan Outreach had no problems finding more volunteers. At the end of the day, every t-shirt template they had was hung with its own message. Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy TrojanVision News.
The next event for Trojan Outreach will be a stress-free day on the quad on April 26th.
Troy University's music industry program teaches students the business side of making music, and many times that means hearing from people currently in the music business. Yesterday, students had that opportunity. Anna Kate Patterson has the details.
Music industry students gathered in Smith Hall, room 121 Wednesday for a Q&A session with guest speaker Sam Renshaw from Parma Recordings.
We have events like this all the time where we have professionals that are doing what we're preparing to do come in and talk to us, and we can kind of pick their brains about how to get to do what they're doing. And this one was kind of unique because we really don't get a ton of classical or people that work in the music industry in the classical genre to come in because it's just such a niche market.
Renshaw is the vice president of A&R and manages a team of A&R representatives. Leah Hudson hopes to one day work as an A&R rep and says that Renshaw's experience has helped her prepare for the future.
I am currently preparing for my internship, so it's important to know as much as I can for interviews and whatever. And also I'm preparing a portfolio, so I have a project for artist selection, and I kind of asked him extensively about that, about how that goes and just what are all the steps that are involved. And so that's definitely going to stick with me.
Based on their different goals in life, each student took something different from Renshaw's advice.
A trend I'm noticing is that he and other people have told me that classical guitar music is just, there's not a lot of people putting it out there. So for me personally, since I'm writing that kind of music, I see a void that I maybe will be able to fill with my music.
Fulton also said that Wednesday's event was a good networking opportunity. Anna Kate Patterson, Troy TrojanVision News.
Renshaw's Parma Recordings works with longtime Troy University music professor Carl Volrath on recordings of his music. And Easter Sunday is almost upon us, which means children will eat lots of candy and begin their hunt for colorful Easter eggs.
However, Troy Student Government Association put on their own Easter egg hunt on Wednesday for the children of Troy University faculty, staff, and students. Chelsea Law has the details.
With Easter just around the corner, the SGA held an Easter egg hunt Wednesday afternoon for the children of faculty and staff and those in the community between the ages of 1 through 9 in hopes that they would have an exciting time.
We just feel that it's very important to give back to the community because they help us in so many ways. Also, our faculty and staff do a lot to make sure that our education is worth something and make sure that we are comfortable in the classroom. And we just feel it's a good way to give back to them.
Current SGA members and volunteers all came together to help make the event successful by hiding eggs and manning different stations.
I've always loved Easter egg hunts growing up, and so I just really find that awesome that students are helping the faculty kids just have an Easter egg hunt. Yeah, I just really love Easter egg hunts.
Though refreshments, balloons, and face painting was offered, it was the eggs that the kids were after.
There is over 1,200 eggs in this big park right now. We sit down and individually count them and make sure we have that many. It's honestly just the biggest Easter egg hunt you're gonna get.
Chelsea Law, Troy, TrojanVision News.
If children missed out on this Easter egg hunt, they can hunt for Easter eggs this weekend with the Troy softball team after their 2 p.m. game against ULM.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
Welcome back. The Trojan baseball team is now just about a month into conference play, and aside from their opening series against Arkansas Little Rock, well, it's been a rocky trail for Troy. Most of that is due to the failure to give themselves a chance to win the series. The Trojans have dropped the first 2 games of every series since opening by taking 2 of 3 from Arkansas Little Rock. Head coach Mark Smart knows that his team has to give themselves a chance on Sundays, but he still loves his effort the team is putting in.
We've got work to do. We're not playing our best on the weekends. We've got to turn it around and get a series first and try to build our momentum back on the first 2 games of the series. That's 2 straight weeks that we've lost game 1 and 2, and we've got to improve that. I like this team. They go about it the right way. They play the right way. They compete the right way. We just got to find a way to get game 1 next weekend and try to get off to a good start in the series.
And this weekend, and speaking of getting off on the right foot, the Trojans are currently in action against Georgia State, and they're up 2-0 right now, heading to the top of the second. But they will be taking on Georgia State in Atlanta for the next 3 days. Georgia State currently sitting at the very bottom of the East Division standings, but Troy just can't take any competition lightly at this point. First pitch was about 45 minutes ago, and that series was shifted to the 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, for Easter weekend. Now let's continue with the theme of Easter weekend, shall we? The softball team is looking to rise up and resurrect their season. Beth Mullins is currently sitting at 16-25 on the season, her and her team, and 4-12 in conference play. They recently were swept down in the Bayou, only recording 11 total hits in 3 games to Louisiana Lafayette. The Trojans also were outscored 24-1. But now they can flip the script this weekend as they have an opportunity to take it 1 game at a time, starting with the Warhawks of Louisiana Monroe. The home series kicks off on Friday evening with a 4 p.m. start. The 2 teams will play a doubleheader Friday and a single game on Saturday. The second game on Friday is scheduled for a 6 p.m. start time, and the 2 will meet on the Diamond Saturday at 2 p.m. And the men's golf team is squeezing in a little weekend match play with 2 other schools, 2 schools that are ranked within the top 35. Those 2 schools include number 24 Georgia and number 35 North Florida. The Trojans will travel down to Florida for competition, and though it was impromptu, the Trojans will be ready to compete. But head coach Matt Terry further layouts the upcoming weekend.
We had a day open, and so did Georgia and so did North Florida, so we're all getting together on Friday and playing each other. We'll play Georgia that morning in a head-to-head, and then that afternoon we'll have all 3 teams playing each other at the same time. It's kind of unusual to do it that way, but the 5 guys, you'll have 3 of them playing, and like we'll be playing Georgia at the same time we'll be playing North Florida, and North Florida will be playing Georgia at the same time.
It's already tough enough to go one-on-one with another team, but the Trojans are going one-on-one-on-one. And that will be a tough match indeed, as those 2 teams are ranked inside the top 35. But the 3 will tee off Friday morning. No official time yet, but just know the clubs will be swinging. And once they start, it's game on. And let's keep this party going. Competition at the South Alabama Invitational began today, and the heptathlon was the first competition in which the Trojans competed in. Elizabeth Locklear, Riley Schweitz, and Elias DeGarl all are competitors in the event, and more Trojans that will be in competition this weekend include Helga Volge, Karina Weiser-Cox, and then Zach Douglas, Titus Sizemore, and Miles Charlie on the men's side. Fans can keep up with all the action by following Troy Track and Field on Twitter at Troy Trojans TFXC. Once again, that is Troy Trojans TFXC.